views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Get ready to experience the truth. Welcome to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Truth Talk Radio is the hit show that will illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. Unleash your intuitive nature while Deb helps you stop looking outside yourself for value and happiness, break through patterns, and move into your authentic truth at lightning speed. Truth Talk Radio will leave you feeling lighter, help you live with more presence, passion, and clarity, and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Now here's your host, Deb Acker.
Hello, everyone. I'm Deb Acker, and you are listening to Truth Talk on Transformation Talk Radio. Stay with me for the next hour as I help you experience the truth, nothing but the truth. Each week on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll have some of the most gifted, inspiring, and unique souls, speakers, and authors helping to move you into more light, love, and, of course, truth. And with that, I want to welcome today's guest, Kaylin Goatley. Kaylin works from home as a health and lifestyle coach. She's a certified personal trainer, has her diploma in nutrition, bachelor's in psychology, and is currently working on her master's. She is passionate about and dedicated to helping others find their balance in mind, body, and soul in order to help them live their best possible lives full of happiness and success. And while I personally haven't met Kaylin in person, I have connected with her over social media, and my experience of her is one of positivity and bravery. And I say she is brave because she's open and willing to set a real example of what a healthy body looks like. So many times, many people that are in the health and fitness world put these unrealistic expectations up of what we should look like, and they coach someone towards this, when really the secret is about pride and self-love. And that's what we'll be talking about today with Kaylin. Welcome, Kaylin. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you? Thank you so much for that introduction. That was so kind.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's so good to have you. I'm so excited to be talking with you today. And I know that you've had quite the transformational journey. Can you tell the listeners about this and what you credit your success to?
Yeah, so actually, I have two transformational stories. And the first one is just your classic, I was in a dark place and I was in the wrong relationship. I was depressed and anxious and just life had beat me down, or I had beat myself down more rather. And so eventually I moved back home, and that's where my first transformational story begins. Is I just began to watch my eating and decided that enough was enough, and I was really trying to improve myself, and I didn't know what that meant, but I was going to do it. So like I said, about 5 years ago, I had undergone this transformation and started with health and fitness. When I began to become immersed in the culture of health and fitness, my whole life changed for the better. I became more dedicated in every single area of my life. I began to excel in school. I began to have that need for vast self-improvement, and I was always looking for ways to do that. So that's around the time when I became a personal trainer. Because I really wanted to change lives in the way that mine had changed. And I didn't know how to do that, and that seemed like that was it. And something was missing when I did that. I had gained weight due to a birth control that I was on, and I had several other side effects that were just horrid. And I was walking around the gym feeling completely unworthy of being a trainer. And, I had those limiting thoughts like, who would want me to train them when I can't even control my weight? And I was binging all of the time. And not only did I feel unworthy, I also felt unsatisfied as a personal trainer. I don't know if you or whoever's listening knows very much about personal training, but I was very restricted in my ability and what was inside that scope of practice as a personal trainer. I really was looking to completely transform people's lives and not just give them a good workout a couple times a week. So around that time, I switched to a plant-based diet which drastically changed my life, and I will get to that later. And around that time, I was presented with the opportunity to be a health and lifestyle coach through Beachbody. I'm sure that whoever's listening knows some about Beachbody. We have amazing workout programs like Insanity and P90X. I'm sure people have heard of that. And then we also have an amazing whole foods superfood shake called Shakeology, among other great products. And this opportunity seemed like my dream come true. I could help. I found that I could help people find a workout program that they loved and can do indefinitely without my having to be there. I could hook them up with non-restrictive meal guides, which is huge for me. I don't like restriction. I could also help them find holistic nutrition and supplements and more. And then not only that, but I can support them in the well-rounded way that I really wanted to. I could provide them with a community of other people who are on a similar journey, and I could give them the tools and support to completely change their lives. And when I signed up, I had no idea how my life would change. I began doing personal development, and my first personal development book started with Louise Hay Books, who talks all about the importance of loving yourself and having positive self-talk and affirmations. And when I began to love myself, my life drastically changed for the better. The weight that I had put on from the birth control, melted off. I was happier. My anxiety levels went way down. I finally had energy. I was the queen of naps, and I no longer, it's rare that I take a nap anymore. I found that my passion was back, my relationships improved, and just everything changed. And through healthy living, I began to transform, and through learning to love myself, my life began to transform.
That's very, very cool. And there's so much good stuff in there. And I actually want to ask you, because you had said that as you started this journey, that basically you were able to excel in all other areas of your life as you started in this journey. Why do you think that was? What do you attribute that to?
Well, definitely because when you're truly going for a life change in health and fitness, you're eating healthier, you're working out, it requires dedication. And that dedication really shined through for me, and several people who I talk to, all the time say the same thing, that that dedication really bleeds through in every area of their life. And two, when you eat healthy and you're working out, your body chemistry begins to shift, your energy levels improve, your mental function improves, and all of that. So in the end, you're better suited to handle life's daily stressors and just life in general.
Well, and for someone who's who is looking to make that sort of lifestyle change, where do you recommend that they start?
Oh, man. I mean, for me, that's kind of the chicken or the egg. For me, it started out with eating healthy and working out. And, for others, it starts with learning to love themselves. And as a result, they want to eat healthy and work out. But as far as where to start, start your research. And really, it's important to... Oh man, this is such a hard question. There's so much contradictory information out there, and we all get so confused in the mumbo jumbo, and what do I do? How do I begin? And the whole point is just to start. Start with what you know. Eat a big salad for lunch and go on a walk on your work break, and prepare your meals for the next day, and just start with what you know. And when things get too confusing or you're ready for more, invoke the help of an expert or watch documentaries. There's tons of awesome documentaries on Netflix all about living a healthy lifestyle that completely inspired me. So in the end, just start with where you are, start with what you know, and work your way up.
Well, and do you have a favorite documentary that you can recommend to the audience?
Yeah, definitely. My fiance and I fight about this because his favorite is Hungry for Change on Netflix, and my favorite was Forks Over Knives. And they both just watch them both, because they both not only give you really good information, but they also inspire you to want to eat healthy. And when I started watching these documentaries, ultimately, that's when I began to say, well, enough is enough. I don't want to poison my body anymore. I want to honor it.
Yeah, no, that's honoring our bodies is so important, right? It's so important to start to, we grow up with these, and I mentioned even my opening, but it's like we grow up with these models of, we're supposed to look a certain way or supposed to do certain things for activity. And we can kind of get into these boxes and these self-sabotaging boxes that kind of keep us from really following our true sort of what we're really naturally guided to in terms of taking care of ourselves. So it's like if we're taught that we have to run to, that's what we need to do to stay fit, and running doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right to us, but we keep trying to run. We find ourselves not being successful in that. Or say we're taught we have to work out for an hour each day, and that ends up not working for us. Then we can end up self-sabotaging. So, I'm with you. It's like, it's definitely all about just really, it's really following, kind of finding your path and following what feels right to you. So we're going to take a quick break here. You are listening to Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker. When we get back, we're going to explore more with Kaylin. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
The life you're dreaming of is waiting for you to say yes. Together, we can create a powerful, love-centered world where business is not a competition, but a community of highly conscious individuals making a positive impact in their own lives and the lives of others. Fun, flexible, fabulous. You make the rules. We offer the tools. Connect with Shelley today to learn more at Live, Love, Learn with Shelley. That's SHELLEY.com.
Almost everyone at some time in their lives ask themselves, what am I? Most of our questions are ego-generated and simply don't address the problem of our false self. It's time to relax your ego and embody your soul. Dr. Dan Cohen, neurologist, inventor, and author, has created tools to awaken, a new way to transform from who you thought you were into what you truly are. Visit toolstoawaken.com today.
Are you ready for a radical shift in your way of being? Are you seeking a more deeply connected and fulfilling life? Awakened Living Radio is a show dedicated to helping you embrace a life filled with profound peace, connection, and happiness. TJ Woodward is passionate about helping you find your clarity, balance, and purpose. Join co-host TJ Woodward and Dr. Pat Basili on the first Monday of every month at 11 a.m. Pacific Time for Awakened Living Radio on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Has asthma or allergies got you singing the raspy blues? Allergy and Asthma Networks is the nation's premier nonprofit patient-centered network of doctors, caregivers, patients, and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to ending death and suffering due to asthma, allergies, and related conditions. Join President and CEO Tanya Winders each month on the Dr. Pat Show to learn more, and visit allergyasthmanetwork.org today. Breathe better together with Allergy and Asthma Network.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
A word of caution, if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
We're back on Truth Talk. I am your host, Deb Acker. My guest today is Kaylin Goatley, and we're exploring various ways to really love ourselves. But before we continue, I want to ensure everyone has your contact info. Kaylin, can you give this to our listeners?
Definitely. So the first way to contact me is through my email. My name is kind of hard to spell. So if you have a pen and paper handy, to all of the listeners, feel free to write this down or throw it in your phone. It's Kaylin, Keilyn .Ariana, ARIANA @iCloud.com. And then I don't currently have a website. I am actually working to launch that the beginning of the new year. There's going to be a blog. I'm going to have several ebooks in there and a lot more. So I would suggest that you add me on Facebook so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on in my life and follow me. And you can either search Kaylyn Ariana, I'm the only one, I'm pretty sure, in the world, or just facebook.com/Kaylyn Ariana. Again, that's KEILYN ARIANA.
Awesome. And I want to ask you, because the title of the show is Success in Life Through Mind, Body, and Soul Balance. And how do you recommend that we get that mind, body, and soul balance in our lives?
This is something that I could talk about for hours on end. And honestly, the formula is different for every single person. We're all unique. But I'm going to simplify this. In order to get mind, body, and soul balance, we must take care of our minds, bodies, and souls. It sounds like duh, but really that's something that a lot of people don't do and kind of ignore. They're just waiting for an answer or that click, and, we really have to take care of ourselves. It's kind of, like I said earlier, the chicken and the egg thing, which is more important to do first, transform the body or transform the mind? Because both are vessels to each other, since our minds and our bodies are so strongly connected. And to achieve balance, we must take care of ourselves through eating a whole foods diet, exercising, meditating and or praying, practicing self-love and positive thinking, taking time for ourselves, daily personal development, through reading or podcasts and radio stations like this.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned whole foods diet as one piece. What does that look like?
For me, a whole foods diet is predominantly a plant-based diet. And this is a whole other talk that, again, I could just go on for hours. But that's what those documentaries are for. Research shows that without a doubt, the plant-based lifestyle is the healthiest diet for anyone. I even have a friend who is currently in medical school, and she was doing the Whole30 diet, which is essentially the plant-based diet with meat. And I had just started the plant-based diet, and she was learning in her class that the doctors are recommending plant-based diet. And she texted me and she was so excited. She's like, there's no doubt that this is, what's best. And a plant-based diet is exactly what it sounds like. It's eating plants. This looks like lots and lots of fruits and veggies, lots of whole grains such as rice, oats, quinoa, whole grain bread, and the like, avocados, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, etc. So basically, there's a quote that I like. It's, if it comes from a plant, eat it. If it's made in a plant, stay away from it.
Yes, no, that's that's a good quote to live by. Well, and I have to ask you, so at some point did you eat meat?
Yes, I've eaten meat pretty much my whole life. When I was younger, I really didn't like it, and I considered going vegetarian. But with the way that my family ate, it wasn't really something that I thought that I could do. So drastically changing my diet, I mean, it was just like I woke up one day And well, literally what happened, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was miserable and I was literally just wanting to feel fresh from the inside out. And the only way I can explain that is the way drinking ice cold water feels on a summer day. Like that was the feeling that I wanted. So the next day I just went straight to the plant-based diet and I never looked back.
Well, and what are your recommendations? Because obviously for you, it sounds like you were kind of very guided towards it. It was very like kind of a very natural transition. Mm-hmm. What are your recommendations though for somebody who does really crave meat and does like feel like they would at least in some way like to include that in their diet?
Definitely. Well, for one, I always recommend that never put anything off limits. Like when I first started the plant-based diet, I was like, well, if I want meat, I'm going to eat it. But I never wanted meat again. So it wasn't an issue. But there's several ways, that you can succeed. The first step is don't be so hard on yourself and educate yourself. And like I said earlier, educating yourself is so hard because there's so much contradictory information out there. And none of it, makes sense. So seek counsel from an expert, or watch those awesome food documentaries on Netflix that I recommended earlier. And, like I said, they not only give you information, but they truly inspire you to honor your body, which is huge. Also for me, nothing is ever off limits except now meat due to ethical reasons. The longer that I've been doing this, the more my eyes have been opened. But don't ever, cut anything off limits if you truly enjoy it. Don't ever eliminate the things that you love, because if you do, you'll surely be miserable and binge on those exact things. My fiance is a true meathead. He and I were both meatheads. We're very into bodybuilding. And I mean, he was eating pounds of chicken and steak and fish a day. And he finally made the switch. Within a week, he was able to come off his blood pressure medication that he had been on since high school. But he still eats meat occasionally on the weekends whenever he wants it. And that's good because for the most part, he's eating what he knows is best for his body. So instead of cutting things out, I recommend that you make sure every single meal that you eat is delicious. Doing the plant-based diet, I don't miss out on anything. I still eat nachos, tacos, pizza, and all of those delicious things. And I make every meal a treat, and I literally consider myself the queen when it comes to making any of those naughty foods healthy and still taste like they're naughty. I make my plant-based meals all delicious and very nutritious. And enjoying your food is key, because when you do these things, you eliminate the guilt with food, which in my opinion is what drives us to have an unhealthy relationship with food. We believe that this is bad and we shouldn't eat this, but we really want to. And then this just creates a vicious cycle. So be easy on yourself, educate yourself, and enjoy every single meal.
Well, and you mentioned with the lowering of your fiance's blood pressure, what are the other benefits of a whole foods diet?
Oh my God. Yes. Food is fuel. And when you predominantly eat a plant-based diet, you are fueling your body with the best foods that truly honor your body at every single meal. And by eliminating that crap that we eat, all those processed foods with chemicals and fillers and, all of that, you help your body by eliminating that, you help your body detox daily. It gives you energy. It improves your digestion. You can prevent diseases. It's in my genetics, might be true. You can also prevent it. And the plant-based whole foods lifestyle is definitely the outlet for that. You fight disease. You can literally reverse disease. Get rid of your allergies. I am the worst with allergies. I haven't had, a lick of flare-up since I started over a year ago. You improve your immune system, improve your brain function, and literally just improve everything, it feels like. Because, like I said, the food that we eat is so processed and chemical-ridden that we harm our bodies and cause disease pretty much every single meal. And getting back to nature and eating whole foods will drastically improve our health and allow us to do the things that we want to do in life.
Awesome. And I want to ask you before we go to break here, because and I find myself struggling with this, so I definitely want to, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. You know, it's like I find myself I'm kind of always running around, right? And so I'm always just rushing to find something to fuel with, something that's healthy, but also that, like also something that I can just take and eat on the go. What are your recommendations for this so that we can, so we're able to stay on, on top of a healthy diet?
Right. And this is a very good question because I feel your struggle. Pretty much anybody who works or is running around feels your struggle. Meal prep. On Sunday nights, my fiance and I, I'll pour myself a glass of wine and we'll cook just a massive amount of rice and beans and vegetables and put them in our meals for the entire week. And we'll make snacks. I like to make foods that I don't have to microwave, like my favorite is couscous salad. And just making all of those meals ahead of time, you'll be prepared on the go. So you won't, be likely to go to Starbucks or reach for, the donuts that your coworker brought.
Awesome. So we're going to take another break here. When we get back, we're going to hear about Kaylin's other transformational journey and get some self-love tips. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Leslie Fontaine with Sheer Alchemy on Transformation Talk Radio, and here's your tip of the day. When it comes to positive thinking and the law of attraction, many of us could say, been there, done that, read the book. So what happened if we didn't get there, didn't achieve the goal, didn't step into our abundance? Typically, there are some core wounds and core fears that keep us from stepping out. We also have energies in our ancestral lines, our cultural and family codes, and even agreements that keep us in check. So let me challenge you. When you had the desire that burned in your soul, what happened? How did discouragement set in? Why did you stop? What came up for you? Whose voices? Listen, there's hope, but it does not come from suppressing the energy that's within you. We all know it's going to spill out somewhere. So join me on Transformation Talk Radio and Sheer Alchemy, and we're going to find out how we can shift you into the intentions that can manifest for you.
Are you ever consumed with the idea that something needs to change? You hear Oprah and other inspiring people talk about living your authentic life, and yet it's much easier said than done. Duda, the kick-ass muse, has crafted a world-renowned coaching platform that will help you get clarity on the issues you face, take bold risks, get back your confidence, and brave your fears. To learn more and work with Duda today, visit kickassmuse.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
We're back on Truth Talk, and for those just tuning in, I'm here talking with Kaylin Goatley about how to be healthy without dieting. And I want to actually move into talking to you really about self-love and this other transformational journey that you went on. I know you mentioned the one that with diet and food and exercise, but I want to hear about this other one and how that transformed you.
Definitely. So when I had just left for college, I was riddled with self-doubt and insecurities. It was very hard for me to make friends and reach out. And I found a man, and we weren't right for each other. He wasn't a bad person. In fact, he was probably one of the nicest people on earth, but we weren't right for each other. And together we created poison. And I was depressed. My grades, since, I don't know, fourth grade and on, I had never gotten anything less than a B. And I was failing in college, and I was miserable and unhappy. I was feeding my depression and anxiety with food. And it's funny because earlier I mentioned that I'm with Beachbody as a health and lifestyle coach, and Mark had brought home Insanity. And I laughed in his face. I was like, you have to be crazy, literally insane, to think that I am going to do this. And now it is my absolute favorite workout. But I was just a miserable person. I was unhappy. I pushed my family away because they didn't really like who I was with, and I knew it, and I resented them for it. And, I got a cat, and I call him my angel of earth because we got kicked out of he had to go home because he couldn't be in the apartments. He got kicked out. So I decided to go home with him. And that's when I began my transformation into health and, the healthy lifestyle. And, my cat was truly, what brought me out of it. And, we always talk about those dark times with embarrassment, but for me, I'm not embarrassed by it because from that, I realized I was selling myself short. I realized where I was going wrong. I realized that, truly when you are insecure and you don't love yourself, you create miserable situations. And through that, I was, able to rise like a phoenix out of the ashes and become who I really wanted to be because I was sick of being anything but.
Well, and you mentioned about, we want to hide our stories or hide sort of the things that we kind of perceive that are quote unquote bad or wrong. What are your recommendations for people who do feel shame in their story?
To put it simply, don't. But that's harder than it sounds, because when you're in that phase, you're embarrassed that you ever let it get to that point and that you're selling yourself short, but no matter what, the people who love you in your life, they love you no matter what. So don't be ashamed to reach out and rise from the ashes, and don't be ashamed to share that story too, because, sharing your struggles will help you relate to other people, because there are other people who have gone through and are going through those struggles. And so by hiding your story, you're missing out on the chance to help someone else who's going through the same thing.
Yeah, well, and, as part of this too, it's really all around loving ourselves, right?
Oh, definitely.
So what are your recommendations and actually, let me ask you this first. For you, what does loving yourself look like?
Well, that's a good question. I guess, let's put it this way. If you see somebody who loves themselves, what do you see? You see somebody who's energetic. They're generally smiling. They're radiating warmth and good energy. They're glowing. They're confident. They're happy. They're laughing. And they're not perfect. They know that. They embrace that. They let you know they're not perfect, and they're okay with it. And honestly, when someone loves themselves and is truly happy with who they are and radiates confidence, no matter what they look like, they could be purple or, a big dinosaur, they're still beautiful because they're confident and they love who they are, and that truly radiates from the inside out. And, you more see their energy. When you think of them, you just think, man, I feel good around them.
Yeah. Well, and, we talk about loving ourselves. For someone who does feel a lot of shame towards their story, or is feeling like, just doesn't feel good about themselves, how do we begin to do this?
For me, and I will recommend this till I am blue in the face, daily personal development. So feeding your mind every single day with the good stuff. For me, I started out with Louise Hay books, meditations, and affirmations, and they truly transformed my life. That's where I started. You can even actually listen to one of her books called The Power is Within You for free on YouTube. So whoever's listening, look that up and listen to it. It's awesome. It's also important for us to speak kindly to ourselves. We have to learn to accept ourselves, treat ourselves with loving kindness, become our own best friends and biggest supporters, and ultimately be the kind of friend to ourselves that we want our friends to be, because we're with ourselves 24 hours. So we should learn to enjoy the person who we're stuck with the rest of our life.
Well, and as part of this too, how did you let go of that? It's like we have all these different models around us that are that show us, okay, you're supposed to look this way. You're supposed to be tall, you're supposed to be thin, you're supposed to be, curvy, whatever it is. How did you begin to let go of that need for perfection with your own body, and then to take it even one step further to have the courage to be able to step out there and own that?
Well, this all starts with self-love. Like you said, we live in a society where we put so much value, if not all of it, on our looks. And it tears me up, because it's ridiculous. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. Steve is beautiful. We're all beautiful. And to live in a society where we think that if we don't look a certain way, then we aren't enough, is truly sad, because our bodies are vessels of our souls, and we came here for a purpose, and our purpose is not to lose weight and look hot. And what matters is truly who we are, and who we are is enough and amazing. And believing that is the start to letting go of that need for perfection. The models in the magazines don't even look like that. And the truth is, you're beautiful just how you are. Love yourself, honor your body, your mind, and your soul, and everything else will take care of itself. And as far as learning to embrace it, I don't know how to put this into words. I always look at people and I think, wow, they're beautiful and they're not perfect. And so why shouldn't someone look at me and think the same thing? We all come in different shapes and sizes, and no matter what, we're beautiful, and you need a rocket, sister or brother.
Awesome. Well, and how do you think that the self-love has impacted your relationships? How have you seen those change?
Ooh, this is a good one. So when you love and you take care of yourself, you're better able to give the best of yourself to those that you love. And I'll give you the example of the mom who loves her family so much. She works her rear end off to not only provide for her family at her job, but to also take care of them. She gives all of herself to her partner and her children. And as a result, she's tired. She doesn't take any time for herself. She gets little to no sleep. She eats on the go, and she doesn't have the energy to laugh at her kids' jokes or listen to her husband talk about his day. She's tired and she's grumpy. And she does this every single day. She doesn't give her family what she truly needs, which is love and the best of her. So when we give so much of ourselves away, we're not able to give the best of ourselves to those who we really love. And as a result, couples fight and they're unsatisfied, especially if, we're insecure and unconfident in the mix, if you throw all of that together. And we tend to think that taking care of ourselves is selfish, but it is probably the least selfish thing that you could do. When we take time for ourselves, we can give the best of us to our families and friends. As a result, I am able to be more present in my relationships, for instance, listening to them rather than being distracted by the things that I have to do or my insecurities. I'm able to be more patient. I give more love. We flow better together. And, in my past relationships, as much as I really hate to admit this, I was insecure and that showed. And as a result, I was mean and controlling and needy. And now in my current romantic relationship, we get along so well, and I'm able to be the partner that I want to be. And as a result, he's able to be the partner who he wants to be as well.
Perfect. So we're going to take one more break here, but before we take our final break, Kaylin, can you give the listeners your contact info one more time?
Yeah, so you can reach me at my email at kaylin.ariana@icloud.com. That's KEILYN.ARINANA, or facebook.com/Kaylin Ariana. And just one more time, KEILYNARIANA.
Perfect. This is Deb Acker with Truth Talk. We're going on a quick break, and when we return, I'm going to share my tidbits of truth of how I've been successful in maintaining an exercise routine for the last 25 years, and also how I see the beauty in everything. We'll finish with a vibration activation, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What does it mean to be healthy? For each of us, it means something a little different. Discover the art of herbal medicine, a natural way to help our bodies respond better to the modern-day stress and toxicity of our everyday lives. Using organic herbs from around the world, the skilled herbalists at Urban Wellness in Kirkland can help you choose the herbs that are right for your body. Find your herbal solutions for common health issues at urbanwellness.com. That's HERBAN wellness.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
The 24th Annual Women of Wisdom Conference, United We Change the World, is February 11th through the 15th. Featured guests are Dr. Christine Page on Creative Dragon Energy. Dr. Susan Shumsky will show you how to awaken your third eye. And join Mira Kelly for a 2-day intensive workshop on Beyond Past Lives. Join WOW for intimate, experiential, life-changing workshops and evening presentations that will inspire you. Early bird weekend passes Friday evening through the Monday banquet are available at a special low price through December 7th. Join a supportive community of women on their journey to discover and develop their passions and purpose in life. Women of Wisdom is the place to be this February 11th through the 15th. Go to thewowconference.org. That's the WOW conference.org to discover all the diverse offerings WOW has to offer you. See you there.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic.
Welcome back to Truth Talk. I'm your host, Deb Acker. So in this last and final segment, we've been talking today about self-love. We've been talking today about exercise and diet. And many of my listeners may not know, but I actually am a certified personal trainer. I personally have been working out since I was 12 years old. I grew up in a family. My mother loved to work out all the time. And so when I was like 5 or 6, I would go watch her teaching. She was teaching classes and stuff. And so I'd go watch her teaching, and I would always ask her to work out. And so finally, after several years of, it's very interesting, right? You know, here I am 5, 6 years old, but after several years of asking her, she finally, when I was around 12, said, okay, you can go ahead and work out. And one of the things that I found was having this, you know, seeing this as a kid and just watching my mom and seeing this incorporated in her lifestyle definitely made me motivated to want to be drawn to that, made me motivated to want to try that. But, you know, it's one thing kind of getting started, and it's another thing to actually stick with it. And I remember when I was a kid, sometimes my mother and my sister and I, we'd want to go, well, they'd want to go running, and I wanted to go with them, but I didn't want to run. And so some of the things like that I've found over working out over the last 25 years or so, it was really all about finding the things that I loved. So for me, that meant dance. It meant all kinds of different kinds of cross training, and you know, all kinds of different movements. And even now, I incorporate running once a week. Though that was kind of the last thing that I started to incorporate, because I always was like, I don't like running. That's not my thing. And so finally, I found a workout actually with running that I actually do really enjoy. But part of what I definitely attribute my success to was, you know, so it was doing what was fun. And then it was listening to my body, right? So even when I got on, you know, I started to actually run once a week, there's been times when my body just does not feel like running, right? It's like absolutely not. And in those times, what I really have done to help me stay successful is just to say, okay, I listen to you. I do not have to run this week. I don't have to do that. I'll find something else that's actually going to be fun, something else that I'm going to really enjoy. The other thing, too, is like if I've had pain around something that I've done, I listen to that, right? I modify the exercise that I'm doing. I'll take the day off, whatever it is, because it's really, really important, no matter what, that I'm listening to my body. The other thing, and I know Kaylin had touched on this, too, was just setting those attainable goals, right? So I have, well, I'll bring up one friend in particular. I have one friend in particular that's always talking to me where, you know, we talk about health and fitness and our goals. And I've talked to her many times about this whole setting attainable goals because, you know, for me, maybe doing 45 minutes or an hour, you know, that might be part of my regular routine. But for her, for other listeners, you know, 20 minutes might be awesome. And it's about not comparing ourselves to other people, and really just listening to us, listening to what we're called to do, listening to our bodies, and really, really tuning into that. And for me too, I've found that, you know, as I've done this energy work and I've released the emotions and this heaviness that my body carried for so long, I definitely feel much more energized with exercise. And even I personally, when I'm working out, a lot of times use exercise to bash that negative self-talk, that inner critic, the dark side, you know, it's got several different names. I'll use it to actually lessen that dark side. So for me, what that looks like, say if I'm running, maybe I imagine my dark side on my feet and I'm stomping it out. Same thing with like kickboxing. You could be punching it or kicking. Also a fun thing, as I was learning about the dark side and the inner critic, one of the ways that I got started in this work was through the Hoffman process, and they talk about the dark side, this inner critic being over your left shoulder. And so unbeknownst to my dance instructor, he actually does a move where he flicks the left shoulder and then he flicks the right shoulder. And so even when I'm in dance, I'll definitely really be enjoying that. And then also too, in part of with play and exercise and just loving myself, it's like when I'm working out, especially when I'm dancing or I hear a good song, especially like if it's a love song, which is going to sound totally corny and it's totally out there, but it's so super fun and it definitely always gives me a laugh when I'm doing it. But it's like, when there's a song that comes on like that's a love song, I just kind of internalize that song, that I'm singing that song to myself. And that just is so super fun. It's just a really great way for me to really just take that self-love in and just to really, really enjoy it. So that's something that's really fun too. And same thing, it's like, I remember even like 10 or 15 years ago, I was eating Cheetos. I was eating different types of foods that maybe weren't so good for me. And what it took for me was a gradual transition. It was first kind of taking out some of the junk food, and then I gradually transitioned out of that. And then I gradually started to learn meals that were very easy to make. I'm one of those people that it's like I only have a few minutes to make them. So I recognized that I could start to make really healthy choices, and they didn't have to take a lot of time. One of my favorite things is oven roasted vegetables, and literally it's like put some olive oil on them, stick them in the oven for like 400 for like 30 to 40 minutes, salt, put some salt and pepper on them if you choose, and they're ready to go. And that's something for me that's kept me into vegetables, and many times they end up tasting like potato chips, or they taste like something that's really actually like something that you crave. So what I want to do to close out today's show is a vibration activation. Many of you guys have been with me as I have done these, but basically what I'll do, and I'll walk you through this step by step, but I'm just going to go ahead and connect you to the light. So we'll connect to the light, and then you'll go ahead and expand that light out 5, 10, 50 feet, all the way out to the entire universe. And then I'll just basically say, see XYZ coming out of your body. So you just want to see whatever that negative emotion, the negative energy coming out of your body, and you just want to breathe in. I'll give you some positive alternatives, and if those don't work, definitely feel free to choose one that resonates for you. So with that, I'll go ahead and ask you to just close your eyes. And if you're driving, obviously do not close your eyes. But for everybody else, go ahead and close your eyes. And you're just going to connect to the light that's 300 feet above your head. And we just naturally do this when we pray. And just see, sense, or feel that light. And you're just going to see, sense, or feel that light coming down down past your forehead, down past your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, down across your shoulders, down your torso, down your hips, down your legs, and out through your feet, and connecting into the center of the earth that feels like mother's love. It's all ooey and gooey and warm and nurturing, and just coming back up through your feet, up through your legs, up through your torso, up through your face. And just one more time, this liquid light coming down through your face, across your torso, down your hips, down your legs, and out through your feet. And back up through your feet, up through your legs, up through your torso, up through your face, and just expanding that light from above and below. Expand that light into the center of the room that you're in. So just expanding that light from your heart into the center of the room that you're in, and just see that light getting bigger and into the entire building, and getting bigger into the entire city that you're in. Good. And just getting bigger into the entire state. Good, or country, and getting bigger and bigger, bigger, all the way past the entire continent that you're on. So just getting super, super, super big. Good, and expanding out past the entire world, just getting super, super, super big. Just open, expanding, and breathing, and just expanding out past the entire universe. Awesome. And just everywhere you want to beat up on yourself, or you don't talk nice to yourself, I want you to see this coming out of your body, and just breathing in love, breathing in truth. So everywhere you want to beat up on yourself, everywhere you don't talk nice to yourself, just clearing that out and just breathing in love, breathing in truth. Everywhere where having extra weight keeps you safe, having extra weight protects you, clearing that and just breathing in love, breathing in truth, breathing in self-love, breathing in truth. And everywhere you want to self-sabotage yourself in some way, or you want to talk negatively to yourself, clearing that out and just breathing in love and breathing in truth. And everywhere you don't know who you'll be without that weight, without that struggle, clearing that out and just breathing in love and just breathing in truth, just breathing in love and just breathing in truth. And everywhere that negative inner voice is equivalent to love, right? It's equivalent to love. It's equivalent to criticism. Just exhaling that out and just breathing in love and just breathing in truth. And everywhere you can't see your inner beauty, or everywhere you're blocking your inner beauty, just clearing that out and just breathing in beauty and breathing in self-love. Just breathing in beauty, breathing in self-love, breathing in beauty and breathing in self-love. And just everywhere you can't see the truth of who you are and who you came here to be, just breathing that out and just breathing in truth and breathing in love. And just taking one more nice deep breath. And with that, I want to thank my guest today, Kaylin Goatley, for sharing such great information, and I want to thank you all for tuning into Truth Talk. I always love hearing from my audience, so if you have a comment on the show or would like to introduce yourself, you can definitely send me a note on the contact page of my website at deboraacker.com. And there you can also sign up for my complimentary 30-minute discovery session, as well as my free Living in Your Truth guide. And next week on Truth Talk, we'll have Carolyn Caputo talking about her journey to truth. In the meantime, I hope you have a great week and a great New Year's, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you for listening to Truth Talk Radio with your host, Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio every Wednesday at 3 Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com and experience the truth of who you are and who you came here to be. Each week, Deb interviews an inspiring guest and illuminates the truth to a wide range of topics, including love, life, purpose, career, consciousness, and abundance. Welcome to the world of infinite possibilities. For more information about Deb, including how to contact or work with her, visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com. Look forward to seeing you next week for more Truth Talk Radio.